Hey yogis, welcome to Hannah Adams Yoga. Thanks for joining. For today's flow, I'll be bringing you through some core work to help highlight your sense of center. And then we'll utilize that to feel a bit more stable and at ease while moving through some standing poses. You may want a couple blocks for this sequence, so go gather what you need and we'll get started. Hey yogis, we're gonna get started on our backs for today. So take your time to lie down and bend your knees and get your feet maybe a little wider than your hips, maybe like mat width apart, knees relaxing against each other if that's comfortable, head down, hands along your belly or rib space. Try not to interlace the hands or overlap the hands. Keep them kind of separate so the hands are lighter and softer to receive the movement of your breath. And if it's available, try to close the eyes. And then we're just using the hands here to highlight the natural breath movement as it is. Just noticing a bit more how the inhale expands you open, how the ribs open up and flare. And how the exhale naturally gathers that space back in, so the front of the ribs narrow and the belly kind of hollows. And just observe that for the next couple of breaths, feeling the movement around your hands as it is naturally. And you might just start to allow for that movement a bit more. So the inhale really starts to wander and expand you open. And your exhale really starts to gather you in, maybe until you feel a little tone in the abdominals. Couple more breaths, allowing for the breath movement in its full range of motion, in and out. And we work with the breath movement for many reasons, and one of which is because it's something that's already moving in our bodies. And so if we want to move and be active participants in our practice, it's likely advantageous to work with something that is already moving in our physical body. And so as you start to get a bit more in touch with how the breath is moving you, you can really start to move with it. And then you might be able to do a little less to accomplish the same things. Give it one more breath in and out. And from here, you're going to start to interlace your hands. Make sure that's nice and thorough. And then bring that behind the low part of your skull. And allow your head to completely relax down into your palms. Allow the elbows to just kind of flop open wide. And then just adjust the feet so that they're about hip width and now your knees are towards the ceiling. And you're going to feel the inhale open through the belly and the ribs. And then feel the exhale gather that space in. Do that for another breath. Just really feel the inhale, expanding the ribs. And then exhale, gathering that space in. And all we're going to do is work with that natural movement. So let the next inhale happen. And at the ending of your next exhale, as the belly hollows and the front of the ribs narrow, use that movement to lift the arms and head and shoulder blades up off your mat. Stay as the shoulder blades start to hover. Can your head relax into your hands anymore? And can you use the repetitive movement of exhale to readdress the tone in the belly space where the ribs kind of glide naturally towards the hips? And as you start to secure that sense of tone in your exhale, your head might be able to relax a little more, so you start to minimize the tone in your neck or your face. And it's really the natural movement of exhale that secures your movement up into this ab curl. And it's not a crunch. There's nothing crunchy about it. There's length in the back of the spine and plenty of breath movement in your center. And then you're going to use your next inhale to lower down. Let the elbows open, let the ribs flare. And then exhale, let the belly gather. Reach the tailbone a little forward as you reach the neck almost back to come up into your ab curl. We'll flow in and out of this. Inhale, you lower, you soften as much as possible. And then exhale, wait for the ending of that natural movement to start to float up, head relaxed in your hands. Couple more breaths. Inhale to lower. Exhales to gather and then lift. One more time for now. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. This time you're going to stay up. Walk your feet and legs together. I want you to reach your tailbone so far forward that you start to feel the buttocks engage. That's going to enable the weight of the feet to transfer into the tone around your pelvis, and the feet can then start to lift, coming into a sustainable diagonal. Exaggerate your exhale movement where the ribs move towards the hips. Exaggerate your exhale as the buttocks gathers in to support the weight of your legs. Give it one more full breath out. And then lower your feet down, lower your head, and then release the arms, narrow by your side. Press down into your feet, tuck the tail to lift the pelvis. Press down into your arms more to lift the chest. Give it a full breath in as a counter stretch. And then exhale, roll the spine on down. There's a little tuck of the tail that will buy you more articulation in the low back. Pausing for your inhale, how little can you do for that moment? And then exhale, press through the feet, a little tuck of the tail to lift the hips, press the arms to lift the chest. Give it a full breath in like you're inflating your thighs. And then exhale to roll the spine down. Take your time, especially through that low back portion. One more time, the goal for the inhale is to do nothing. Exhale, press down with your feet. The tailbone tucks, the hips lift, arms press, and chest reaches. Inhale, inflate the shape. And then exhale to roll the spine on down. Interlace your hands behind your head. Wait for your exhale to come on up into your ab curl. You'll bring your feet and legs together. Try to use the contact of your legs to support more engagement of your core so your legs could extend at a sustainable angle. From there, all you're going to do is look to the right. Find an exhale and then twist a little more. And then look to your left. Find an exhale and then twist a little more. And then we'll just flow through this. Exhale, twist right. Exhale, twist left. One more time. Exhale, twist right. Exhale, twist left. You'll come to center, feet down, arms down, hips up. Take your bridge. Give it a full breath in to flare the belly space open. And then exhale to roll the spine on down. As you arrive, you're going to hug the knees in towards your chest, rock forward and back, and then make your way into a tabletop on your hands and your knees. Once you arrive, make sure you take a moment to spread your fingers, and then wait for an inhale to happen. Allow that natural movement to soften the belly, to lift the eyes and lift the tail, coming into your cow. And then wait for the exhale to naturally gather the belly space in until the head and hips follow, coming into your cat. We'll take this for a few breaths. Really let the breath movement guide it. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. You know, there's no perfect hairstyle for these videos. Inhale. And exhale. Oh my. Give it another breath. Try to enjoy it a little more. Inhale. And exhale. Give it one more inhale to cow. You'll curl the toes under. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Meet your down dog, however it is. Try not to pedal out the feet. Try not to do any doings. Try just to be with whatever sensation is there as you land, and be with it for a breath. And then wait for an inhale. Reach your right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, bend your right knee in towards your chest. Cat your spine, and then step the right foot forward towards your hands. Make your feet heavier so your arms can get lighter and reach them up towards the sky into your crescent lunge. have at least a little bend in your back knee so you can have a little tuck of your tail. Use that to anchor a lift of your chest and your eyes, and a little back bend happens. Give this a full breath in. As you exhale, you're going to interlace your hands out in front of you. Shift your weight into your front foot so your back knee can come up, and then let it land into the support of your palms. You're not pulling the knee in towards you. Rather, you're pressing the knee away from you, and then use the pressure of your right heel to tuck the tail a bit, to get a little tone in the right leg and right buttocks. And that can enable you to stabilize, driving the hips forward and letting the weight of the shoulders and head hinge back. Give yourself a couple breaths. Give it one more full breath in. As you exhale, you're going to kick that front leg back and up to come into your standing split. This is where you might want blocks, especially if you're interested in a hop transition. And if you aren't familiar with the hop transition, you can check out my more recent flow. It's like 20 minutes long, and it brings you through some of the details. And I'll be talking you through it here as well, but if you want a bit more in-depth tutorial, you could check that out after this. You land in your standing split. Give yourself a breath. Really press through your right heel to lift the left leg higher. Give it another full breath in. And then exhale, you're going to bend your left knee in towards your chest to step the foot forward to come into your hovering chair pose. So your hips are between the blocks, your feet are out in front of you, just like you'd be sitting in a chair. You give it a full breath in as you land. And then exhale, you cat your spine to either step or hop the feet back towards a downward facing dog. And you might as well keep your hands on medium-sized blocks if it feels comfortable for you. Otherwise, just move them to the sides. However your down dog is, meet it, be with it for a breath. And then accompany your inhale and reach your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring the knee in towards your chest and then step the foot forward. No need to chance it. Wait for your feet to get heavier, and then your arms will start to lighten up and you'll reach them up towards the sky. And you can explore having a little or a lot of bend in that back knee to assist in a cat-like direction of the pelvis, that little tuck of the tail, to support a lift of the chest and the arms and the eyes. Let it be emotional. Give it a breath. Another full breath in, and then as you exhale, interlace your hands out in front of you. Start to shift your weight into your left foot, and then your back knee comes up, and it starts to rest into the support of your palms. Use that same technique, drive through the heel to cat the pelvis, so you really feel where the weight of your pelvis is, and you're controlling it a bit as it starts to drive forward. So you're confident in your anchor to hinge yourself back. Give it a couple breaths. Another full breath in. And then exhale, standing split. Kind of swing the right leg back and up. Adjust yourself so you maybe have your hands on your blocks. This would also be an opportune time for a handstand hop if that's in your practice. Give yourself another breath or so. For standing split, really drive through your base heel so you get a reflexive lift of that high leg. And if you're taking the next transition, try to start with the blocks behind your foot, so that as you bend your right knee in towards your chest, your feet are forward in relation to the blocks and your hips are between the blocks. Land for your inhale. And then exhale, step or hop back to downward facing dog. Give it a moment to fidget, but then take a moment to really land. You've done the doings, you've set up the edges, and now it's your opportunity to be in the midst of what you've done. So we're going to start with similar movements and just add on some different standing poses. So it'll start to be familiar, but something new each time. Inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky. Exhale. exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest and step the foot forward. Reach the arms up to the sky. Find as much back bend as you'd like. Give it a full breath in. Exhale, interlace the hands in front of you, shift forward. The left knee comes up. Eyes lift as the hips drive forward. Give it a full breath in. Exhale, you're going to swing your left leg back into warrior two. And then have your feet nice and wide, your arms really taking up space, eyes nice and still past your front hand, and then commit to being in the shape for 2 organized breaths. And then inhale, straighten your right leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, send it back to warrior two. Do that one more time just to enjoy moving, breathing. Inhale to reach. Exhale, warrior two. You're going to take your inhale, flip the right palm, reverse. And then exhale to your standing split or handstand hops. Give it a couple breaths. One more full breath in. And then exhale, the left knee bends in to step into your chair. Maybe your hips come back so your feet could start to float. Maybe the legs extend. Ready, set, exhale, step or hop back to downward facing dog. Do your fidgeting, do your doings, but then land with the eyes still and be with it for a breath. And then inhale, reach the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest to step the foot forward. Arms reach up towards the sky, a full breath in. Exhale, interlace hands in front of you, shift forward, the right knee comes up. Hips drive forward, shoulders hinge back, give it a full breath in. Exhale, swing that leg back to warrior two. Take up space with the feet and the arms, and then land your eyes still and give it some organized breaths. And then wait for your inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, make it meaningful. Inhale to reach it up. Exhale, warrior two. As you inhale, flip the left palm, reverse. Exhale to your standing split. Give it a couple breaths. Another full breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee in to step the feet forward. If you want your legs to go forward or up in any capacity, you have to bring the weight of your catted pelvis back in order to counterbalance that. Give it a full breath in, however it is, and then exhale, cat more to step or hop back towards your downward dog. Give it a slow breath in and out as you land. Once again. Last variation, inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, step the foot forward. Arms reach up to the sky, inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands, shift forward, the left knee comes up. Give it a full breath in. As you exhale, you're going to bend your right knee, put your left foot on top of the right thigh. Try to bend your right knee even more once the foot gets up. And then if you're stable, reach the arms up. When and if you fall forward, your blocks are available to catch your hands. But if you feel stable, take advantage and kind of cow the pelvis, like you're sticking your butt back as you bend your front leg. Give it a slow breath. Another inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Your blocks can be at any height for the hands to be comfortably supported underneath the weight of your shoulders. And so if you're at blocks with high level and you have lots of bend in your elbows, you might consider lowering a level or two. Give yourself a couple breaths, try to release the weight of the head gradually and allow the breath itself to be a bit more open and flexible. Slowly, your left foot's going to slide down your right shin so you can kick the left leg up behind you for a standing split. Give it a full breath in. And then exhale, you're going to bend your left knee and kneel behind your right heel. I'll show that again in case you missed it. You're kneeling with the left knee close to your right heel. You might grab a block to sit on unless you're comfortable sitting directly on the ground, and you arrive with your right leg crossed over your left leg in some capacity so you get a little stretch sensation in the hips. And from there you can bring your left hand to your left knee, your right fingertips down behind you, and then wait. Wait for your inhale to move you, to show you some space. And then as you exhale, you can start to move into that space as the belly gathers and supports. Again, use your inhale, find some space, some wiggle room. And then use your exhale to gather and twist. And then pause, that's enough doings. Be with it, however it is, with whatever's there for a couple breaths. Give it one more full breath in. As you exhale, twist to face the front of your mat. Grab both blocks in each hand. Reach the left leg back up into your standing split. From here, you could just step back to down dog unless you want to take the transition. Left knee tucks in. Work on stepping or hopping back to down dog from your little chair pose. Once you arrive in down dog, give it a slow breath to recalibrate. Making sure we haven't got ahead of ourselves with all the doing, still in a practice about being. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, step the foot forward. Arms reach up, full breath in. Exhale, interlace your hands, shift forward, the right knee comes up. Give it a full breath in to hinge back. And then exhale, bend your left knee so the right foot can come on top of it. Maybe reaching the arms up if you feel stable. Driving the sit bones back like you're cowing, bending the left knee more. Give it at least another full breath. One more inhale. And then exhale, you can fold with it. Find blocks at an appropriate height so that you're not too caught up with what you're doing. We want to make sure that we're finding variations of these poses that don't compromise our ability to breathe and be at ease with the moment at hand. That way we're able to actually be with whatever it is that we've done. Give yourself a couple breaths. Relax into them a bit more. Maybe take them a little less and let them take themselves a little more. Give it another slow breath in. And then exhale, the right foot slides down your shin so you can release the leg and kick it back into a standing split. Give it a full breath in. And then exhale, you're gonna kneel, right knee steps behind your left heel. Maybe grab a block to sit on or sit directly on the ground. Your upper legs are crossed and your right hand finds your left knee, left fingertips behind you just to suggest a little twist. But you're paused for a moment and you're letting the inhale show you where is their space, where's their length, where is their width. And then exhale, can you move into that space, gathering the belly to twist a little more. Inhale, let it move you. And then exhale, move with it to twist. Maybe you do that actively for one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale, and then you've done it, and now you gotta be with it. Maybe even close the eyes and experience your breath. Experience the sensation of the pose. And when we take these patient moments to be, we can really notice what's occurring. And that's a powerful position to be in, because then you can really start to let things go or really tap into support And then as you continue to do, you'll likely be much more effective. Give it another full breath in. And then exhale, twist to face the front of your mat, hands to your blocks. You're gonna either step straight back to down dog or bring the right knee in towards your chest and come into your hovering chair pose. Give it a full breath in. And then exhale, step or hop back, downward dog. Give yourself a moment to land. Another full breath in. And a full breath out. As you inhale, you're gonna lift your heels high. And then exhale, bend your knees. You're either gonna take 2 big steps or hop past your blocks. Your hips will arrive between your blocks, feet in front of you. Give it a full breath in. And then exhale, cat your spine, step or hop back to downward dog. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. If you're comfortable with hopping, maybe your feet don't land and they hover, extending the legs and then lowering down. However you actually get there, get yourself seated. You could scoot your blocks forward and adjust so you feel centered on your mat if that's important to you. And then reach the arms up to the sky. Take a celebratory inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. And your hands can arrive wherever they are. They might be at your feet. They might be behind the backs of your knees. Wherever they are, use them as leverage, not to pull yourself forward, but to lift yourself up so that you could walk the sit bones back and feel the breath movement in your back. And how can that moment of inhale where the spine kind of lengthens and lifts, how can you utilize that movement to help propel yourself forward, but gradually with lots of integrity? So you're not pulling yourself, but you're allowing the breath to open you up a bit to bring you forward. Try not to fight against that movement. It's really there to assist you. Give it a couple more breaths. And then you've done whatever you've done to the pose, and then however it is, with whatever tensions are still there, can you be with them? And maybe just by being with them, you can get to know them a little more, and then later on be able to sort through them a bit more intelligently and easily. And one more full breath in. As you exhale, you could grab your blocks if you'd like them for your Shavasana. You're going to roll yourself down onto your back. Those blocks could go underneath the backs of your thighs, relaxing the weight of your head and your arms. And because we've just been doing all the things that we've been doing, it's likely that you still have edges of poses kind of lingering in the body, kind of echoes of doing. And so it's going to be a transition. You could start just by closing the eyes and allowing the lips to gently separate so the jaw can soften. And you can use your inhale to expose any available space between your shoulder blades, which might inspire you to walk the shoulder blades away from each other. It might not, but it might. And can you feel your inhale exposing space in the low back, which may encourage you to adjust the legs slightly or the hips. And then you're taking a valuable moment to practice being. That's what Shavasana can be about. A pose that has nothing to do. We're good at doing. We do it all the time. But how important it is, more and more important it is, to reconnect with our truest nature, that of being. What would it even feel like to just be? What would our headspace do if there was no anticipation or eagerness to do? What would that feel like around the forehead or the skull? How might your arms soften if they let go of any eagerness to do or to hold? And if they were just there to be, what would that feel like in your hands? And so continue to explore the physical sensation of being and how much can you relax in that direction of non-doing. Just for a few more breaths. And then take a purposeful breath in. Exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. And if you're hugging yourself, you might as well treat it as such. Feel loving things towards yourself. Maybe kiss your knees. And when your self-love moment is complete, you could rock up to seated and maybe take those blocks, put them one next to the other so you could sit on them comfortably. Take a moment, you could have the palms facing up or down, whatever feels more organic to you, and have your eyes closed. And just taking one last valuable moment before you go about the rest of your day with all the things you gotta do. And take a moment to be familiar with this sensation. What is it like to just be? To be right where you are with whatever's there with you. It takes a little patience, it takes a little acceptance, but it's very doable. It's in your truest nature. And when in doubt, you could always use a breath to help guide you there. And in this present moment, in this centered place where you are being a little more than you're doing, so much support is available. All of your options are right there with you. And so continue to come back to practice and find this space. Familiarize yourself with this space so you can really call upon it and even work from it when you're doing all the things you gotta do. You're going to reach the arms up to the sky, catch an inhale and a smile. And then exhale, palms to prayer in front of your heart. I hope you go about the rest of your day feeling into all the support that's available, feeling a bit more centered, maybe empowered to do all the things that are worth doing. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining Yogi. I hope you enjoyed. Come back for more with Hannah Adams Yoga. Be well.